Okay, this is hairdressing for term 4, and we are going through the GEC learning paper. Okay, remember you're writing two papers, so this is a study guide for paper 1. Hair consultation, skin and hair tests. Remember there's a few tests that you can do before to see that the client will react properly to whatever procedure you are doing. So the first one is the incompatibility test. This will show if there are any chemicals present. Elasticity test. This determines the condition of the hair by seeing how much the hair can stretch and return to its original length. Porosity. The test indicates the hair's current condition of its ability to absorb or resist moisture from liquid. Strand test. Trial run on a small hidden section of hair to predict how a new color or chemical treatment will turn out before applying it to your entire hair. And then texture is how thick or thin the hair is. There are 3 types of textures: fine, medium, and coarse. Fine hair needs special attention and care. The central core or medulla is usually absent and therefore requires a weak to medium perm lotion. Medium or normal textures hair present little problem in hairdressing processes because although the cuticle scales lie close to the shaft, they hinge back easily, making penetration of hairdressing preparation and chemicals easy. In other words, normal strength perm lotion is needed. And coarse textured hair always contains all 3 layers. They stand easily, slightly away from the hair shaft, enabling this type of hair to absorb water-soluble substances easily, which means that normal to strong perm lotion can be used on it. Recording the findings when they're analyzing the hair and scalp. Make sure you record the details of any test that you conduct. Update the client record card in full immediately after you have done the test. The following information and other relevant information must be recorded on the client record card: the stylist name, so your name, the client's name, address, and contact number, and then the client's type of hair and the current chemical state of the hair. Then hair diseases, conditions, and defects. Type of abnormal hair loss. Remember, abnormal hair loss is called alopecia. This is hair that falls out not on a daily basis. In class we did a lot of them, but these are the 3 that are the most important for this test. The 3 most common types of abnormal hair loss are androgenic alopecia, alopecia areata, and postpartum alopecia. Remember, androgenic is like male pattern baldness. Then alopecia area, remember the word area, so it is hair that falls out in patches, like in different types of areas all over the head. And then postpartum is when you just had a baby, so thereafter your hair tends to fall out a little bit more. Cavities is the technical term for gray hair. Cavities result from the loss of the hair's natural melanin pigment. Other than the absence of pigment, gray hair is the same as pigmented hair. 2 types of cavities are congenital cavities and acquired cavities. So remember, there's androgenic alopecia, alopecia areata, and postpartum alopecia. Physics of color. White light and the prism. When white light passes through a prism, a transparent object with flat, polished surfaces like glass, something magical happens. It splits into a rainbow of colors. White light. It is not just one color, it's actually made up of all the colors of the rainbow combined. The prism. When white light enters the prism, it slows down because light travels more slowly in glass than in air. This causes the light to bend or refract. Dispersion. Different colors of light bend by different amounts because each color has a different wavelength. Red bends the least while violet bends the most. The rainbow. As the color spreads out and exits the prism, they separate into the spectrum. We see a rainbow. This process is called refraction and dispersion. It is the same reason you see rainbows in the sky after a rainstorm. The raindrops act like tiny prisms. Pretty amazing, right? Okay, so there's a prism. Then color, primary, secondary, and tertiary colors. Primary colors are base colors that cannot be created by mixing with other colors. Secondary colors are when you mix two primary colors in equal amounts, and tertiary colors is when you mix a primary color with a secondary color. The laws of color. The color wheel made up from the colors in the spectrum. The colors will always lie in their related positions no matter how the wheel is turned. The wheel as much about color, for example. If we wish to create a new color, it is easy to do so by combining equal quantities of two colors that lie next to each other on the wheel. Neutralization of colors. Colors opposite each other on the color wheel are the colors that neutralizes each other. For example, if a color's turns out green, red is which you will use to tone down the green. And these are always the same. Red neutralizes green and green neutralizes red, blue and orange, and yellow and purple. There are four natural colors, hair colors: blonde, black, red, and brown. Depth and tone. When we talk about color, we often use the word depth and tone. Depth is describe how light or dark the color is, and tone describes the hue or the color we see, such as brown, golden, red. Taking the principles further, the International Color Chart, or the ICC, offers a way of detecting hair color systematically. Shade of hair color numbered with starting with 1 is black, and lightest blonde would be 10. For example, if your client has a medium blonde hair, number 7, and your color with a copper 1, a 0.4, the result should be a rich copper blonde, a 7.4. The possibilities are almost endless. The other one has darkest brown hair, like a 2, and your color with a red, a 0.6 mahogany, and a 0.5. The result should be darkest brown, red mahogany, 2.65. Remember, we are using this in the class, and we have work with the International Color Chart, the booklet in the class. Okay, then hair colorants. There are 4 types of hair colorants we are going to use here. So it's permanent, semi-permanent, demi, and temporary. Permanent hair color penetrates the hair shaft and provides long-lasting results. It's permanent, and it can be found in creams, gels, and liquid, and its gray coverage, it dramatic color changes is the use. Semi-permanent color adds color without altering natural pigment. Its longevity is about 6 to 8 weeks, can be found in creams, rinses, foams, and sprays, and you are using it to enhance a natural tone. Demi-permanent color contains a small amount of peroxide for long-lasting results. Its longevity is around 20 to 28 washes, and it can be found in creams or liquids, and it blends gray hair and adding depth. Temporary color coats the surface of the hair without penetrating. It lasts for 1 to 2 shampoos. You can find it in sprays, chalks, powders, foams, and gel, and it's normally used once. Perming hair. What is perm? This is a hairstyle produced by setting the hair in waves or curls and then treating it with chemicals so that the style lasts for several months. Perming hair requires a combination of skill, proper technique, and safety consideration to ensure both the stylist and the client have a positive experience. You will need a tail comb, perm rods, end papers, cotton wool, applicator bottles, sectioning clips, and a cape. Perm lotion is used to chemically alter the structure of the hair, allowing it to hold a curl or wave style. It breaks the hair bonds. The lotion contains chemicals, often ammonium thioglycolate, which break down the disulfide bonds in the hair. These bonds are responsible for maintaining the hair's natural shape and structure. It reforms the hair shape after the hair bonds are broken. The hair is wrapped around curlers or rods, and the lotion allows the hair to be reshaped into curls or waves. Then comes the neutralizing process. A neutralizing solution is applied after the perm lotion to stop the chemical reaction and rebuild the disulfide bonds, locking in the new shape. Remember when we did this in class in practical? We wash the hair with shampoo, then you started to roll in, then we put on the perm lotion, and we did a test curl to see how far it curls. Then you rinse for about 7 minutes. You put on a neutralizer after about 5 to 7 minutes again. You rinse there for 7 minutes. Then you slowly and carefully take out the curlers. What is the effect of neutralizer on the hair? The neutralizer is a crucial step in the perming process because it helps stabilize the hair's new shape. It rebuilds disulfide bonds. After the perm lotion breaks the hair's bonds to reshape it, the neutralizer reforms these bonds in the new curled or wave positions. This locks in the style. It stops the chemical reaction. Neutralizer halts the action of the perm lotion, ensuring the hair does not become over-processed, which could lead to excessive damage. It restores the pH balance. Since the perm lotion is alkaline, the neutralizer, being acidic, helps restore the hair and scalp to their natural pH level, reducing potential irritation. Strengthening the hair. By reforming the bonds, the neutralizer helps reinforce the hair structure, giving it stability and durability in its new form. While the neutralizer is essential for the perm process, leaving it on too long or not applying it evenly can lead to uneven curls or unnecessary hair stress. Proper application and timing are key for the best results. Common problem and treatments of a perm service. So if you have fish hooks, then the cause would be incorrectly wrapping the hair around the perm rod, specifically the ends of the hair being buckled, uneven wrapping, or a poor choice of end paper techniques. When you have uneven curls, it could mean there's inconsistent roller tension, improper saturation of the perm solution, or pre-existing damage or unhealthy hair. Difficulty returning to natural texture, over-processed or damaged hair. Permanent wave is too slow to process or the hair does not curl. Then incorrect lotion is used. Temperature in salon can be too cold. Scalp is red, sore or broken skin. Incorrect tension, hair too tightly wound around the rod. Too much perm lotion was applied and the scalp has been saturated with it. Development test curl. This involves testing the curl during processing. As processing time is critical, you need to use a timer. You also need to check the perm at intervals to see how it's progressing. If you apply the perm lotion after winding, check curlers from the front sides, the crown and the nape. Unwind the hair from a curler in the S shape produced. So you need to check if it makes the S shape. If the curler is too loose, rewind the hair and allow more processing time. If the curl is correct, stop processing by rinsing. And then that is it. Good luck with your paper. Good luck with all the studying.